Hey, what's up? What it do? Welcome back to the channel. Now, it's been a minute since I had Fly on the platform. He been dealing with some things. I'm gonna let him address those things. But one thing he did want me to mention before I drop this video, or the first installment to this video, is he wanted me to address the people who don't know that there's nothing secret about his name change. For an example, some people may change their name to distance themselves from certain things. Fly became Muslim while in prison, and he changed his name to Khalif Abdul Qawi Mujahid. Most Muslims change their name to an attribute that fits them if they're Sunni Muslim. And some of them even go as far as changing their name legally. Like, for an example, Wayne Perry changed his name to Nkosi Shaka Zulu Will. Malcolm X, Malik El Hajj, El Shabazz, Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, and just things like that. But there's nothing unusual about Muslims changing their names from Anglo-Saxon or government type assumed names to Muslim attributes pertaining to whatever their faith is that's followed. Nevertheless, check out Fly.
The people that you're hiring. One customer who still hasn't paid most of his fees is Keith Gaffney, perhaps Roshan's most notorious client. Prosecutors tried Gaffney as the leader of the largest drug ring ever uncovered at Lorton prison. Assalamu alaikum. Ram Berg to all the Muslims all over the world that's fasting during this holy month of Ramadan. It's a pleasure to be able to sit back in front of you, young brother. It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, how you been other than that?
Other
than what we getting into, people been saying where you at. What was the reason for your hiatus?
I had prostate surgery. I had to have surgery, and I had to take time out to heal. You know, chilling. I had 2 deaths back to back, ready to bury my father. My sister died. My youngest sister, my baby sister, died the day before the funeral. So that really threw us for a loop, man, because it's my baby sister, man, that I stayed in touch with. You know, she was so happy to have her big brother home, you know. And man, she had an unfortunate death, man, a tragedy, man. And so, you know, we just been chilling out the way, but I've been recuperating, been healing. But I'm stronger than ever. I feel good. You know, I've been hearing, man, a lot of chatter. You know what I mean? You keep me abreast of everything. Everybody that we deal with, a lot of my family and friends keep me abreast of stuff. But man, me, I ain't going for nothing. You know, I'm gonna land on my feet 10 toes down every time. You know what I mean? But during Ramadan, Eon, you know and I know, this is our most holiest month of the year. And we're supposed to be humble, stay away from fitna, supposed to stay away from arguments and, ignorance. But man, I'm gonna try to stay as intelligent as I can and, and as humble as I can. But this Bam out of Michigan, man, he really rubs me the wrong way. You know, I told you before, we did an interview, I think before, and I said my partner, Cooley Ill, told me about this. He told me when I was in ADX, he couldn't say it over the phone, but he kept saying, man, y'all don't have YouTube. I said, nah, man, we got no cable in ADX. He was trying to tell me in signs that something is up on YouTube, but he couldn't say it over the phone. But once I touched down and came home, and you and other people say, man, it's this Bama that's a rat lover that love Apple, support Apple, and putting stuff on the joint about you. Now, the first time he put something out, it wasn't that bad because he was talking about I could have came home, been a businessman, entrepreneur. But he was saying something about I had a young girl and he don't respect that. But a couple of weeks ago, they got this little girl out of Capitol Heights that got a podcast, right? But anyhow, she came on the joint. She said, I ain't from DC. She said, but she had two homies on there, two females out of the city on there. She said, y'all heard about the dude DC Fly? That's a legend. And so they said, talking about DC Young Fly? They said, nah. She said, nah, not the comedian. The dude supposed to be out of DC had life. They say he's legendary for knocking people out taking butt. So they said, taking butt. So I wasn't never gonna respond to this Bama or this rat out of Michigan, because everybody know me. You got thousands of dudes out here in society that being locked up from every state. Mainly our homies, the old timers. We ain't gotta keep calling their names, but they out here that did 50 years for old, young, middle age, my age. And everybody know that ain't nothing but some crap. You know what I mean? But what I learned though is that this dude is so obsessed with me, Eon. Once he heard about the guys out in New York was responding to the thing I did about Chaz, he hurry up and try to get with them and say, push this, say this. Them dudes out in New York don't know me. They ain't never been to prison. Y'all seen it. This dude is so, man, what he don't know, Eon, is I done said his life 3-4 times because I done had homies say, man, look, we going up there. Even one of my women, she said, baby, let's go up there and whip his ass. I said, I wouldn't spend a gallon of my gas on this bounce. He's a rat. It's been proven he's a rat because Ron and them caught him coming out. What they caught him coming out? Save a lot, and stomped him out on the parking lot. He was hollering, I ain't telling y'all, Ron. Why would he holler, I ain't telling y'all if they wasn't stopping him for telling on them? But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, see, I'm not even going to respond to them dudes out in New York because they don't know me. They ain't never been to prison. They probably ain't never been to jail a day in their life. They just wailing. But my point is, they got a right to defend their homie. You know what I mean? So I was cool with that.
About the New York
I'm addressing the YouTubers that been on out of New York want to say, man, they say the dude was knocking people out, taking butt, and he had a boyfriend on the street. And how ignorant do that sound? Eon, this is the Don Diva. Don't nobody make the cover of Don Diva. Nobody makes the cover of Don Diva unless you a gangster or you like that. In the Don Diva, you know what it say? He became the boxing champion of Lorton in 1976. You know what it say in the House of Pain? He became the boxing champion. You know what it say in these magazines? That I made millions. That I had correctional officers on my payroll. Who want to knock somebody out and take some butt? You got my thing right there where it say I became a professional fighter in 1981 and was let me know as a pro.
The court case.
That's come out. That's come out my pre-sentence report. Those pages out my pre-sentence.
So
the government wrote that.
Pre-sentence report, and this was in your Kingpin case.
It's in my Kingpin case. That was some of the pages out of the pre-sentence report where they said every prison I've been in, this it started off from 74 all the way up till I gave the life sentence back. June 74, Ashland, Kentucky Federal Youth Center for Observation, 60-day study. October 74, sentenced to 2 years for receiving stolen property, return to Ashland. December 74, Petersburg, Virginia, federal reformatory for administrative reasons, considered too aggressive for Ashland Federal Youth Center. Tallahassee, Florida, FCI, 1975. This is where me and Frank Lewis was at. Frank Lewis, one of the most dangerous dudes out of New York. He come up with us. All the homies love him. Started off with me in the FCI, was in the Leavenworth Marine Control Unit. He just like us. All the homies deal with him. Frank Lewis, yeah. Cold-blooded man. So them New York dudes need to ask Frank Lewis who Fly is. Guy Fisher, Big Jerry McCullough.
That was Cadillac Man?
Yeah. Big Jerry, Cadillac Man was Big Black. Yeah, Big Jerry McCullough was Mean Naughty, Lulu, all us. He was in Maryland with us. You know what I mean? And good man. But these dudes, man, is dudes that cared like we cared and ran with the DC car. It wasn't no problem with me and Chan. Only time we had a beef with New York is when Brothers knocked the Bama out, who supposed to have been Steve Baker's bodyguard, who wanted to fight Brothers. Brothers knocked him out. All that about mob ringers and I don't know what that come from. We ain't never heard none of that to this. But my point is, all the dudes was in Maryland with us out in New York, Kansas City, St. Louis. All the strong cars stuck together. You know what I mean? All the big boys out Kansas City was cool with us. St. Louis, cool with us, especially the Moles, because a lot of us was in the Moles together. You know what I mean? But the thing that bothers me, young brother, is this Bama, this rat lover, Alpo lover, read The House of Pain. He takes little snippets. What this say, young? Read that.
House of Pain. When Keith Gaffney ran the show at Lorton Max, gods were gangsters, inmates were businessmen, and he was the undisputed king of Cell Block 3, the Blue Room.
Now, if the government wrote that, you understand, how can a man of this stature run around every night knocking somebody to take their butt? Young, I did 50 years. I ain't never in my life seen nobody knocking nobody out and take their butt. You know what I mean? So if they saying I got 8 women on my indictment, I done made several babies in Lorton. Who's taking butt? How outlandish is that? But see, that's this Bama out of Michigan's mindset. You know what I mean? His whole thing is to sling mud and slander somebody's name because whatever that happened to him over the years in his childhood is really bothering him. But what he don't know is all the homies stick together. Dudes out of DC was in Lorton Feds, is out here in the street that did time with us. Them dudes, man, is like, what is this man? Who is this Bama? Why he keep talking about DC dude?
But you said something to me in private that I'm gonna bring up here in public. You said, youngster, he's caught on to the fact that if he covers us, he gets views. Right. Because he always covers you right after we have a good interview.
Session or interview. Yeah, and because he's trying to make money off us. You know what I mean? Because he can't say nothing about the dudes in Detroit because he banned from talking about them because they stomped him out. So what he was clever enough to say, I gotta talk about dudes out of New York or DC or whoever. I can talk, he don't talk, he hate Unique. Mecca. You know, he hates you, he hate me. But my point, young brother, is I got children, I got grandchildren, I got family, I got elder aunts.
You got a reputation.
I got a reputation. You know what I mean? So for this dude to talk about something a rat said in a magazine, you know, we did the thing about Magnet Island and we put it out there over a year ago. What happened in Magnet? I said, man, they let me out the hole after 4 months. I told Junior and them, y'all ain't gonna get me hot. He said, all the Mexicans and white boys. I said, white boys and Mexicans? I said, we gotta go get that. You know what I mean? So now, this prosecutor
trying. What's his name?
His name is Irvin McCrary. He was one of the prosecutors on my case. He wanted to get his 15 minutes of fame. So he did this article with the city paper and he did the government's version of the trial. Just like in this interview with the city paper, and they say Mark Rashawn made
right there with zoom in on. Keep talking.
It say Mark Rashawn made murder cases and drug cases go away.
Disappears.
Disappear. It say drug cases go away like no other lawyer in the city. He ain't handling nothing but top murder cases and big drug cases. You know what it said on page 9?
What's that?
His most notorious client of all his clients was Keith Gaffney Bay. All the murder cases he had off, they said I had the biggest drug case in the history of law. It's right here. I want you to keep this. They give Mark Rashawn his property. You got Bernard Grimm, other top lawyers in here giving him his properties. But now, the reason why they did this, because they said, man, this is one of the baddest lawyers in the city. He don't have nothing but murder cases and drug cases. You know what I mean? So, while they giving him his properties, they talk about me.
Again, getting paid comes down to reputation. Rashawn says he gets paid in full quite often. He pursues his fees personally. I can be a real jerk about that, he says. You have to have a reputation with the people that are hiring you. That payment matters. They're talking about money out of my kid's mouth. One customer who still hasn't paid most of his fees is Keith Gaffney, perhaps Rashawn's most notorious client. Prosecutors describe Gaffney as the leader of the largest drug ring ever uncovered at Lorton's prison.
If you got, I'm putting it on. So now you got a magazine about my lawyers, one of the top lawyers in the city on the East Coast. They handle all kinds of big cases. I'm his most notorious client.
At least one of them.
What am I doing knocking somebody out to take some butt? Do you think he would have represented a dude like that? When they speak about me, they ain't never said nothing about no crap like that. But here's a Bama out of Michigan that's so caught up on dudes from our city, you know what I mean, and worried about, man, this dude, I'm telling you, Eon, the dude is sick, man. He said that I looked at Tony Patterson's butt in the shaft, seeing how big it was. You know what they say about Tony Patterson? We all right. He got women talking about me. Anybody that this dude can see can become an ally and can jump on his bandwagon to push that BS. I met Walter Harris down Maple Glen in the 60s. And next time I seen him was in Magnet Island, from the juvenile to adults. You know what I mean? And when they let me out the hole in McNeil, you know, my man Junie, Arthur House was there, and Ernie Burke, and a lot of other homies. But remember, I told you, it was a lot of rats out there too. The Freeway Family, because what, you know what I mean? So Cadillac's partner, Big Black, Steve Wooten, was waiting on me. He said, man, Larry Roman told me he was coming, man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know at the time that Walt out there hiding. He had went there from another USP.
It's Walter Harris, correct?
Walter Harris. You know, but he was so happy to see me, but he was scared because he didn't know what type of mission I was going to be on. Nevertheless, he rolled with me. He walked with me every day. You know what I mean? He was with me. He was with me when we had the war with the Mexican Mafia. Wasn't no Chicanos. It was Mexican Mafia. And here he told at Green's.
What was it about? You tell me what it was about first, and then we can go to what he said and what he said the second time. What was it about again? Because I keep debating that you told me the stories that you came from Lord. You was young and wild. We went. Who was anything?
Yeah, we went in the Mexican Mafia cell. I made all of them strip. We took the dope, the money, the wine, everything else.
Again, you saying we. For some reason, the critics keep missing the word we. They keep saying Fly couldn't have went in there and did that. I said Fly.
It was me, Junie, Arthur House.
What you said?
Walter Harris, a dude out of St. Louis, and a dude out of Baltimore. I got my little posse together.
And how many Mexicans or people was in the room?
About 10 to 12. It was about 10 to 12.
Now, was it a surprise? Why didn't they go to war? Why didn't they fight to the death? Why didn't they do all those things that these people expect?
Well, what happened was their boss, Big Gabby, wasn't in the cell. He was in my next door neighbor in Marion years later. But what happened was, Ronnie Pacino was in 88, the one who came at me with the knife. Yeah, I'm a stick-up boy on the street. Me and Bros and Terry Trice was sticking up in the federal system. So, no disrespect to other races, but ain't no white dudes in Lorton. Ain't no Mexicans in Lorton. So to me, you know what I mean, they was inferior to us. Cause DC dudes go at each other in Lorton. You can be from Southeast, Southwest, North. If you got a beef with another dude from the city, you going after him. We kill each other in Lorton. Right. Fear ain't never was in the equation. So I don't care nothing about, I ain't had no fear. But my point is, young brother, I wanted to go get him because that's what I do. So when we went to get him, we about 7, 8 deep. I had about 7, 8 dudes with me. You know what I mean? But the next day, I told you when I was in the gym beating the bag, high as a kite, Eddie Burke came in there and said, "Fly, don't come out the gym, man. The Mexican Mafia walking around looking for you. They walking around the block looking for you, man. And they said they're going to kill you." I said, "Where they at?" We went to meet them. I said, "Y'all looking for Fly?" Gabby said, "Yeah, you know what?" I said, "I'm Fly." And Ronald Pacino drew. I drew. We drew. I don't see Walter Hurst Jr. beside me. You know what I mean? But somebody go get Big Black and he come around there, he saved the day. You know what I mean? Because that evened us up. You know what I mean? But I found out years later.
Big Black is from New York. And
He from the Bronx. He from the Bronx. Steve Wooten, Big Black, cold-blooded man, was in Attica with Lulu back when they had the Attica ride. Cold-blooded man, love him. So Walter Harris is such a wreck. After he testified against me, they said, "We're going to go lock his sister up. We want you to testify against his sister and his mother." He said, "Whatever." He lied on my sister. This woman, he even lied on the stand. You're going to see in the article where he said, I think he said he bought the gold chain and the charm I was wearing or something. And the judge said, "Well, where's it at?" But he just make up lies. You're going to see in this testimony you got where he said my daughter bought him an ounce of dope in her vagina at the fair and she was dead 2 years before that. He just a liar. You know what I mean? So the rat out of Michigan is jumping on that because guess what he said, Eon? Why would Walter Harris lie? So after he tell on my sister, they say, "We want you to tell on Robert Green, who was one of Fly's main henchmen. You know what I mean? Was a correction officer, say he worked for me." So what he did, what the government said, I think this in the article where they say Walt and the prosecutor was so familiar with each other, they used to nod at each other and smile as soon as he walked in the courtroom. Dude, he just was a professional rat. You know what I mean? But neither here nor there. The guy out of Michigan jumped on this and said, Walt said that we went to war with some Chicanos because I raped a Chicano.
Let me stop you right there. I keep trying to find a good break. Before you tell this anti-journalist version of the story, which he got from an unofficial source, can you tell us what Walter said in the first trial pertaining to you so we can compare the story?
He said we went to war with the Mexican Mafia because I robbed them and took their dope.
And you sent me transcripts of
right,
that, correct?
Yeah. You got it right there too. You got it.
All right. Now
so
compare that to the second story that you was going in. My bad for cutting you off.
You did, you all right. So what, but see, this is what they do. Because my sister told me that. She said at her trial, the whole trial was about me, painting a picture of me, that I was this monster. So Walt came and testified against my sister, don't even know her. He don't know Robert Green. He was in PC. Robert Green ain't there working PC. But this how them rats do.
And who was Robert Green again?
Robert Green come up out of Barry Farms with my son's mother, but he was working in the wall when I came back to Lorton.
As what?
Correction officer. You know what I mean? And they say he was on my payroll.
I read in one of these papers you gave me, they actually the government, because I'm gonna start making sure I say that. The government labeled him as the most corrupt correctional officer in Lorton history.
Yeah, because of the rat said that he did anything I told. And that's neither here nor there. My point is, for the record, I want to tell you and all our supporters, everybody that follow us, this rat and put that out there that I knock people out and take butt, and I had more sex in Lorton with women than I had on the street growing up in society.
You had how many Lorton babies?
I made 5 Lorton babies. So, Leon, we had sex legally. We went over to school every Saturday and Sunday and go in the room with our women. On Ramadan, our women stayed in the room with us all night. Our women came in Lorton before the 12 o'clock count and could stay with us to daybreak. The Moors, the Sunni Muslims, the Nation of Islam, all the religious leaders had a group that had their own room over the school. The Moors had their room, the Sunni Muslims, me and brothers had our room. I can't remember what we named ourselves. But anyway, if we want to put your name on the list so you can have sex with your woman, you'll say, Fly, I want to come over Saturday, man. I want to take, I said, you're on the list. You know what I mean? Now, off-brand will have to pay some money to get on the list. So every weekend, we go to school and have sex with our women. We have sex at the fairs. We have sex at parties. We have sex at functions. But on Ramadan, during the holiest month, if you fasting, your woman have to be down there before the midnight count over the school, and she stay until the next morning when the shift change. They come in at night like visitors, meet us over to school, and we stay all night. Or a dude might say, put this name when I'm sending a freak to see you.
And then they would come into what institution is this?
Lorton.
What part of Lorton?
The hill in the wall.
All right, so they would come in the hill of the wall.
Yeah.
At around 11 p.m. for people who don't
11:30.
Before midnight.
Yeah, before midnight.
And
they gotta be out checkpoint before midnight.
And they would spend the night in the institution, be it the wall or any other institution.
The hill, only the hill in the wall.
Central facility. And then they would leave the next morning at some other time.
Before the 8 o'clock count.
I just wanted to get that.
Before the 8 o'clock count. Yeah. So the joint was so sweet. Listen, me, Brothers, Michael Feller, Carl Kelly, Peachtree, all us had our women pregnant at the same time. All our children was born back to back.
While y'all were all still incarcerated.
While we was in the wall. Nabal. So my point, young brother, is I had to speak on this because, man, that's vicious. That's vicious for this rat to make up something about I'm down Lorton knocking people out taking butt. And I'm the kingpin. I'm the champ. I got police officers saying, Fly, please let me be your escort at your next fight. Whatever you want, you can get it. I said, all right, I got you. I married a sergeant, Eon. I'm having sex with the sergeant every week. I got women on the compound fighting over me. I just say, you gonna get me locked up? Y'all can't be out here fighting. And you got it in the PS report which say what year I turned pro in my pro record. You got it in your pre-sentence report. When I came back to Lorton, and I told you Shaheed Muhammad and his brother Murad Muhammad started the program like he started in Rahway with James Scott. So once I turned pro, I'm getting extra perks. You know what I mean, y'all? The ward, Mr. Hodges, pretty much let me do what I wanted to do. So visiting the days is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. If I want a special visit on a Monday or Wednesday, I might say, Mr. Hodges, when people going out of town, I need a visit. Put a memo. We'll go up to Captain office and lawyers, you know, the little lawyers. So we had sex up there.
You talking about the wall now? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in that
on a
little light brown panel that look like wood.
Yeah, so I'm getting perks, but now the more I'm fighting, and the more people come down and see me, celebrities and stuff, the women is like, Fly, why you won't let me go on your next fight with you? Some of these women was cold-blooded police, but everybody want to be a part of a winner. You know, I'm on celebrity status, you know what I mean? Everybody in the street promoting me, talking about me, all afraid, Eggy, all of them come down, Cashwell, all of them come down to all the fights, giving us bank rolls, me, my family tree, all of us. So, my name ringing. You know what I mean? I'm the baddest thing in Lorton. This in the Don Diva. Prison Kingpin, that's me on the cover of Don Diva. When Keith Gaffney was in charge at Lorton. Yeah, this yours. When Keith Gaffney was in charge at Lorton Maximum Security Prison, guards with gangsters, inmates with drug dealers, homosexuals with bankers, and he was the undisputed king of Cell Block 3. This is Don Diva. Right. I ain't making this up. We talking about Lorton. I never went in the dining room because I had my personal cooks. I had a bodyguard used to sit outside my cell all night and let me know in case the police was coming on a raid. I had men posted up all night. So, but this ain't nothing new. Me and your father did this in the wall before I went over you Center 2. Before I was getting little money then. I ain't blow up till I left the wall. But in the wall, I ran stuff the same way. Yeah, but see, in the wall locked down. Can't nobody do nothing without my permission. Now, if somebody, I don't want to call their name, I just named dudes who had baby saints. Now, if they doing something, we'll exchange. Or I might say, give me something, man, until I get mine in. You know what I mean? But I ran that wall because I was a champ. You know what I mean? I used to have classes with dudes like Carl Kelly, you know what I mean, every now and then. Men. Yeah, men. But my point is, man, all the dudes come up under me, it was there when you came in, you know what I mean? Them dudes, man, was cold-blooded soldiers that we passing the torch to. You know what I mean? But I never went in the dining room. I always had my own cook, because I don't eat meat. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that I eat, you know what I mean? And I had my meals prepared a certain way. Because when you got money, Eon, when you got product, you get what you want. You know what I mean? So this is how Robert Greene met me. Me and Wop and Fatty and Nate Bailey, Tony Jackson, Big Rabbit, all us in the block. Tiger Ashby, Half Pint, Rick Green, all them on the other side. Wildman, all them on the side. Robert Greene came in the block one night and said, man, where's he at? They said, who? He said, where's this dude Fly? He came in, he said, man, I'm Shorty Green, man. And I've been hearing about you. He said, man, I had to come meet you. What you want? I said, huh? He said, what you want to eat? I said, go get me and Wop some shrimps and some 151 proof rum. Came right back with it.